Well, I'm doing a walk down to Roche Abbey, but what I thought I'd do is just show you this. At one bit, Throapham Manor used to be around this area, and you can see these trees here. And the reason I want to show you this is I'm going to go up to St John's Church, and it's not actually at Laughton, it's actually to do with Throapham Manor. So I just thought I'd show you that. You can see Manor Lane there. When we were at Dinnington Comprehensive, we used to do a cross-country run, and we used to run out to the back of the rugby fields and come back down here. There wasn't a high-vising site, we just used to have a couple of teachers stand on the road, one at one end and one at the other. We used to run along the road and then come back down here back into Dinnington Comprehensive. So I'm actually in Throapham at the moment. It's been pretty much destroyed, Throapham. I mean, there's a few of the older houses left. As you can see, that looks like it's quite modern. And then that looks like a farmhouse of some kind. But I'm going to do short videos because I don't want to just show myself walking along a road, so I'll catch up with you at the next junction. So I've picked the route back up again. If you go down there, that takes you back to Throapham. I'm just on a main junction here. There's Old Coates Road, St John's Road across here, and then that's Common Road back over there. I'm just skirting on the edge of Dinnington, but I thought I'd show you this junction. I'm about 5 minutes walk from it, but what I want to do is show you these churches across here. Right at the back is All Saints Church, and then closer up is St John's Church. It's quite a nice view, that, when the clouds are right. But what I wanted to say is that I'm told that just here there used to be an annual fair, came from Europe, and that goes back to the sort of Middle Ages, and they came, like I said, every year. And I'm told there are all springs around here, or wells around this little bit here, but it's all covered over now. But even before the EU, which we don't miss, we could trade quite well with Europe. So what I'll do is, in a minute, I'll turn my camera back off and walk up St John's Road, and wherever I need to turn off, I'll actually show you where I'm turning off. Thought I ought to just show you the view of the two churches again. It's not the perfect sky for it today, but on the right hand side is St John's, and on the left hand side is All Saints Church. And All Saints Church dates back to William the Conqueror, and even before that there would have been a church on that site. But St John's Church, which is to do with Throapham Manor when it existed, is more modern, and they only have one service in there a year in St John's Church, once a year. But I'll just get up to the St John's Church and then I'll put the video camera back on again. So I'm now at St John's Church. This is paired with Throapham Manor, and I couldn't understand why there were two churches so close together in such a small village. And then I found out this isn't actually Laughton, or it wasn't originally anyway. So I'll just show you something by the side of the church, which is really interesting. So I'm right by the side of the church just here, and this grate, you wouldn't believe it, it's not actually to do with water. It was actually a pagan well, and when Kev Bullock was alive, he showed me under that, but the trouble is the well's been filled in, so you can see where there's been a well, but all you can see is gravel. The reason they built this church here is because of the pagan well, because people are already coming here to worship things like that. So rather than starting again, just put it on the sites of old pagan sites. And I think this is to do with the people coming in from Europe every year for the fair and things like that as well. So I'll catch up with you at the next interesting part. So I'm now in the village of Laughton on Morthern, which dates back to the Domesday Book, by All Saints Castle All Saints Church up there. You'll actually find the remains of a castle. It was a motte bailey that William the Conqueror had built. All that remains of it is like a earthen bank in somebody's back garden, but you can see where it was. And if you go around the back of the church, you can actually see it, walk past it. And if you go around the back of there and look at the view from there, you can see why there was a castle there. So I thought that's a nice view to show you. Farmer used to keep cows in this field and sheep, but it's empty at the moment. It's a real shame because two village pubs, St Ledger and Hatfield Harms, are both closed in the village, and I think they could have both served food and made a going concern of it. They closed down long before the lockdown. It is a lovely village, but it has been spoilt a bit by the development going on lately. But you won't find any shops here anymore. There was an old co-op just there, that's the old co-op. And there were other shops, but they've all gone now. It's other than people living here, it's a dead village as such. There's still a few farms, but not many anymore. And that farm over there, as you can see, I think that's Manor Farm. I think there's still some goings on behind it, but they built new houses on there. So I'll catch you down at the junction where I turn off to Furbeck Lane anyway. So I'm now at the junction. I'm going to go down. I'm turning off on Furbeck Lane. And just there is Scamming's farm. I did put a picture on my blog, and somebody did contact me who owns the house. Said it was an original farm, that. I'll come round here a bit more for you. See there, that's Scamming's farm. But the only problem is, as you can see now, they're just building houses all over these places. One of my major concerns is we only grow about 40% of the food in the UK. Sorry, 60% of the food we need. And we're just shutting farms down all over the place. Now, if you went up there, you can see that white building. That was the old St Ledger. St Ledger is now somebody's house, so but you can see the number of cars down here. And this has only been lately, there's been so many cars around here. To me, a lot of the character's been spoilt now. But I'm on Furbeck Lane now, heading down towards Roche Abbey. The reason I took you to St John's Church is I want to show you the links, the history. But I also, I've heard, somebody told me that when they were younger, that one of the floor stones was up in the actual church, and there was a tunnel down there, and they said that there was actually a tunnel all the way from St John's Church to Roche Abbey. I'm not sure I can believe that, like, but if I saw it I would. So that place is the old Pear Tree Pottery, an old Methodist chapel. But there's been a lot of development around here, estates built and things like that. But I'll pick up with you as I turn off down towards Roach Abbey. So I'm now down Furbeck Lane, out of Laughton itself, and I'm into full sort of countryside. I used to go across to Derbyshire every weekend, and then I found out there were a lot of walks around here, so I do the walks around here more than anything nowadays. If you go down there, that's a new place with cafe called Ledger Lakes. Fishing ponds behind there now. You can have afternoon teas, breakfasts and all sorts. And they do keep animals as well. So I'm going to turn off just down there on a dirt track. So I'm just about to turn off now. And just down there by the side of the fishing lakes you can see some pods. As far as I know you can hire those. Just there. See those little pods? And I'm just sort of detouring down here, down a mud track. You can go down the main road and get there, but I prefer the walk across the countryside. I'm just going to show you now. So that's a new housing estate, 60s housing estate. Then you can see the church up there. Then all around here there's various villages. It's beautiful countryside. It's much like Derbyshire really, with the hills, not as steep like, but you need a pair of boots on though when you come down this road. But there is, like I said, you can go down the actual main road. I just want to show you a village over here. I mean, I've lived in Anston since '66, and one thing that's happened more and more is the townies come and live round here, and most of them are just sleeping here and then working elsewhere. So village life as such doesn't exist anymore. They're really just townies. 95% of these people live in here. So I'll pick up with you later when I can show you something interesting. Alright, you can see the pods from Ledger Lakes better here. The reason I'm doing it in a cut video, so I'm not showing the whole journeys, is just so that people don't get too bored. But I'll show you the nice scenes as I'm going along. So you can see All Saints Church up there, and that's why the castle was built next to it, because of that area across there to defend it. And then what I'm going to try and do is try and pull that bridge up. That bridge you see there carries the South Yorkshire Railway across it. A small network of railways were built to carry, to start with, passengers and coal. The passenger transport died off, shut the stations down back in the 1920s and 30s, and I've been asking for a few years for that to be reopened. It's the South Yorkshire Joint Railway. That's actually at Brookhouse, and that'll take you through to Maltby. It's only a single track at that point, but when you get through into Dinnington it actually becomes a double track. You could actually put a cutting in. There's already a cutting at Lindrick Dale. The line joins works up, but if you put a cutting back in on itself, you could be running trains from Anston and Dinnington via Kiverton Park quite easily. And I'd suggest an hybrid super tram. So that's Brookhouse over there. And then there's another village above it, but if you put Brookhouse and you'll find out what the village is above it. The road sort of winds up there and takes you across to Maltby. As you can see the view over here. Can be brilliant at night with the sunsets. And there are two benches set in the hedge up here that you can sit in at night and look at the view. Somebody must have thought about that a long time ago. The only issue is if they haven't been vandalised, because I think one of them was set fire to. So I'm on the other side now. I just want to show you what type of countryside it is around here. It's been turned over at the moment, ready for crops for the summer. I'm just going to zoom in here. You can see power station over here. It's not a great view today, but you can see some of the chimneys from it, and that's across at Retford, which is about 13 miles away. Sure, I can get a better view of that. I'll lose it on the screen when I'm looking at the screen. I can see it better, not on there. It's a better view. So there's the power station, that's about 13 miles away, where I started off at Dinnington. So that's 13 miles away towards Retford. Where I started off at Dinnington was about 13 miles from Sheffield. So we have got some pretty beautiful countryside round here. The idea of the video is to encourage people to actually get out in the countryside round here. We've got 25,000 people living in the S25 area. And it's very rare I see anybody out when I go out walking. Alright, so as you can see, there's a bench here. People can sit here and look across at this beautiful view, especially at night with sunsets. I've just been talking to a lady, so it's a good job I turned my video off, and she said that she lost a job about July. Not been able to get a job since, and because she's got so many savings, the government won't give her anything. So that just about sums it up, doesn't it? That's actually, you can see a footpath across there taking you up to, I forgot the name, I think it's Hooton Levett, possibly not, but it's just above Brook House anyway on the map if you want to know. There's walks all the way around here, but it's certainly boot weather at the moment, and that's probably why I saw another couple actually walking down the road, probably to Roche Abbey. I can walk from home in about 45 minutes normally. I've got the video camera today and I'm not in a rush. Or if I was on the pushback, I can get there in 20 minutes across the fields. Just here every year they put sweet corn down, and it's something to do with the pheasants. There's a local house around here. And they keep pheasants, and for some reason it must be what the pheasants eat or what they live in. Certain periods, there's pheasants all over the place around here. Alright, so I followed the track all the way down from Leisure Lakes, and it's brought me to what's called Kingswood. So I go now into Kingswood, go down a small hill, and at the bottom of the hill I turn right and follow that along, and that'll take me down to Roach Abbey. I'll keep the video on just to show you where I'm going if I don't slip down, because it's pretty muddy. even in the middle of summer on the mountain bike you can struggle to get up that hill. If it's not dry, there's no grip at all. It's either the Duke of Leeds or the Earl of Leeds, or Scarborough, sorry, who owns a lot of the land around here, especially Roche Abbey itself, but there are footpaths around it. So I'm going to the right now, and along there, if you go that way, I'll take you into Brookhouse. As you can see, it's pretty muddy at the moment. They've been doing a lot of work around here, clearing it back. So it's quite actively worked around here. There are signs telling you not to go in the wood. I wonder if that's more from the people who go there drinking and leaving all the cans everywhere. So they don't particularly want people like that doing that. So I'll pick up with you again just as I get into Roach Abbey itself. You can just see how muddy it is today. My jeans want washing anyway, and I'm going to have to stick these boots in a bucket of water. The Kingswood was something to do with the Prince of Wales who used to go to Furbeck Hall, and he used to come in the back way through the wood. He used to fly at one bit into the airport next to Furbeck Hall as well. But I think these are elm trees, and you find this all the way through the wood. So I'm now at Roach Abbey. See this fountain here? I don't know if this was originally put in by the monks or whether it was some landscaping that was done many years ago. This is a path I've come through from Kingswood. You just carry on all the way through Kingswood. So you come into Kingswood at the top, go to the bottom, turn right, follow it right down to here. Then there's a wooden walkway around here. You can see Roach Abbey over there. And the perfect thing about today is sky's lovely and blue. I'm going to get some perfect images of Roach Abbey. But I've only seen one lady across the fields. She came from Maltby. Just follow this wooden path around and then you come to a kissing gate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the light sensitivity down on my camera when I come out here, because the sky's absolutely perfect for shots today. I did a previous video here with an older model camera, but the shots today should be absolutely crystal clear. Should be coming across in 180 HD. I think the quality could be higher, but I'm limited by YouTube. It will be 180, but I don't think the images will be as clear as they would be if I connected my camera directly into the TV. You can see the river that passes through. I think this is Maltby Dyke. And here's the kissing gate. You have to be careful sometimes because some of these are either very lively cows or hello? Yeah, sorry, I thought my sound had gone on my camera for a minute. See Maltby Dyke going around, fields around here, but I'm just going to switch the settings over on my camera. So I'm back onto non-low light conditions because I don't know if it'd be too bright. There you can see Roach Abbey, Cistercian monastery, sacked by Henry VIII There's a fence around it, but there's a public right of way all the way around Roche Abbey, so you can see just as much actually outside as you would inside. If you go across this field, like I said, beware of any bulls on it. That'll take you back onto a road that'll take you back up to Laughton on the Morthern. Should connect back up with Furbeck Lane. But if you just keep to the footpath around here, you can't go wrong. Problem is, there's a lot of damage done around here, and I'm going to suspect it's more likely to be used from Maltby than Dinnington, because I have to walk 45 minutes to get here on a good day. So I don't think there's going to be many use from Dinnington here. So I think it was either the Earl of Scarborough, or I think it's the Earl of Scarborough who owns this site. It's only actually rented by English Heritage, it doesn't actually belong to them, but they must make money back on it. I can remember coming here on a school trip back in the 70s. It seemed a long way, so we all got on a coach to come here. As you can see, I can walk here in 45 minutes from Dinnington, or 20 minutes on a cycle. Here you've got the visitor centre. People also live upstairs in it. I'm going to go right round. I'm going to also show you the Gatehouse. And this is where the poor would have come to be fed. You're right. Oh yeah. You can actually get down in the car here. The only issue is you can't come down here at night because there's a gate at the top from the main road that they shut off at a certain time because they're having problems down here. I'm told on Maltby Dyke down here you'll get kingfishers in the summer, but you've got to be quite patient to find those. So there's a cobble road down from the main road, which is the access, into this site. Shuts off about 6 o'clock at night. I think you can probably still get out, but you can't get back in after a certain time anyway. It's a recent road, but I don't know whether it was originally cobbled when the monastery was operating years ago. Right, so we're coming back to the gatehouse. I've cut out sections just to keep you interested all the way through it. I'm told that some disturbed lady, I think she got pregnant, hung herself in that building. Probably somebody can elaborate on that story. I'm also told there are hauntings around here. Well, I've been down here late at night. It's a bit eerie walking through the wood with a torch late at night when I've been going home. But I've never felt any bad experiences down here while it's been dusk or dark. You can see limestone cliffs around here. If you go down to Anston Stones, you'll see limestone cliffs. Stone from Anston was used to build the Houses of Parliament. It was lower quality because they got the cheapest order possible, and that's why they're having to replace a lot of the Houses of Parliament. But you get what you pay for. The monastery would have been built out of the local stone, probably cut from these hills or cliffs. So just follow this track around. It's like a loop all the way around. You're on public land. The loop will come back round to the back end where we started, and you can go back the other way. But there are loads of different access routes down here, but I'm just showing you one of them to tempt you to come down across the countryside to to Roche Abbey. Site's owned, like I said before, it's rented out to English Heritage by the Earl of Scarborough. And I'm trying to think, the house that's close to it, I think it's Sandbeck Park. It's not a particularly big house, you can see it from the road, but there's a big farm there as well. They farm a lot. And they have the pheasant side of things, but you can see this is another good view of the Roach Abbey. I think the best time's to come after tea when it's quiet around here. You can get a few people shouting and screaming at times. Like I said, the locals from Maltby, not Dinnington. And I've had a bit of trouble with them last year. I just kept my mouth shut rather than actually respond to them. Just want to show you this area above. I think this was landscaping that's been done since the monks were here, or since it was a Sistine monastery, which I assume came across from France with William the Conqueror. I'm assuming that this was done as a landscaping project. It's very bright, so I can't actually see what's on the screen at the moment, but I'm sure you can see on the TV at home. And then we're here to some stepping stones. on top of the waterfall. Now it's quite funny because all these stepping stones used to be the same direction. They've probably been like that for hundreds of years, so some bright spark when they did some work last year decides to put them like this, which doesn't quite look right. I don't know what they were doing last year, whether they were clearing algae out of it. That's all the way round Roche Abbey, and like you can go back the way I've shown you coming. And if the light conditions are alright, I'm going to go back a different way and I'll pick up on the video on the way back to Gatehouse. So you've got two options for going home. Go back the way we came, up that hill, which will be a bit of a job at the moment, or that way into Gatehouse. And I'm going to go this way into Gatehouse. Not sure how good the light conditions will be now, because it's probably about 3:30. Alright, follow this wooden footpath, but it's starting to look a bit dilapidated, this footpath, so be careful. It's really rotted the last few years. In summer you'll see pheasants around here. They're all over the place when it's coming towards shooting season. So I'm just skirting around the edge of this field, and then we should find a footpath across this field that will take us up to Gatehouse. I haven't been out on a lot of long walks on this second lockdown. I was out for long walks on the first one because the weather was really nice. So I've walked from down there from Roach Abbey, and I'm going to carry on walking along here. It's not so muddy now, which is a good thing. I'm looking for the footpath on the right hand side. I can see the footpath across the fields. And in the distance you can see, well, I can see Laughton Church, but I can't see it very well on my screen. Should be able to see the church at home. You can see there's a dyke at the side. Well, that's the same Maltby dyke that runs through Roach Abbey. You see the signs coming up just here. Public footpath up here. So I'm going to follow this footpath up to the top and catch up with you where I turn. So I've come all the way up the field to here. It's really hard going today because number one, I'm not fit. I've not been out for a long walk on the second lockdown. Not because of fear of the actual virus that I don't believe anywhere near what they're saying, but because I just haven't been that bothered with the weather being so bad. But it's also very sludgy today, so it's been pretty hard going. But get to the top of this field and you can see the sign pointing in the left direction, and up ahead of you on the screen at home you should see the church. As long as you head for the church, you shouldn't go far wrong. That's why it's on that point. There's a marker. When we first went out onto the fields and I pointed out Brookhouse, there was a village above it. I just remember the name, it's Slade Hooton, and that there from the back, it's better to show it you from the back. Should be Slade Hooton Hall, just there. It's heavily fenced off at the front, but there's the back of Slade Hooton Hall. So you'll see a sign there. I've just come from that direction. You want to go down here, and this will bring you up to the road. So I'm following that footpath along. One thing today is, if you seen the screen waddling from side to side, it's the mud. It's because I'm waddling from side to side rather than going up and down. It's going from side to side, so it's just one of the hazards of walking in thick mud. So we're actually at the side of the South Yorkshire Joint Railway at the moment, the one that I showed you the bridge at the start. Well, this is the viaduct coming through into Brookhouse. It's a single track here, and it goes double track in Dinnington. Right, like I said, I've been trying to get it some sort of hybrid super tram into Sheffield for about 10 years. There's 25,000 of us live around here. It's an advantage to both Sheffield City Council and also for us to be coming into Sheffield for jobs, leisure, etc. and shopping if there were any shops left in Sheffield. And when I met the MP at the start of the lockdown to show him the fly tipping around where I live, I brought that up with him and he was already on with it, which is fantastic. He's been pushing that with the government minister in charge, as well as also trying to reopen the police station, something that a group of us got together and got 3,500 signatures to reopen Dinnington police station. Then there was a further 2,000 signatures to try and reopen it after ram raids. So I don't agree with the MP on everything, but I think his heart's in the right place. I just think he's very misguided with CO2 warming. So there's the bridge carrying the joint railway across. So I've just come out off that footpath. See the bridge there, takes you up to the top of Slade Hooton, and this way takes you down into Brookhouse. There's a right turn here on Main Street and that'll take you into Brookhouse, but what I'm going to do is follow the road back up into Laughton on the Morthern. See the sign up there, says Brookhouse and Throapham. There's Main Street. There was a Cartwheel there, pub or restaurant, which had a really good reputation. Now it's just been redeveloped into houses. There's still a pub come restaurant left for travellers, but that's been hammered during the lockdown. So you can see we're in Slade Hooton. Carl's a bit further along and I'm going back up this really steep hill into Laughton on the Morthern. See the church up there, You can see why the castle was built aside the church. Prominent position. I wouldn't like to attack this place with all my armour on. Have to be a bit careful on this road though, because it's pretty narrow anyway. It's a bit easier to walk back this way than across the fields. But like I said, where we turned off for Ledger Lakes originally at the start, if you'd have followed that road down, that would have took you down towards Furbeck and also down towards Roche Abbey, more on the roads, but I prefer the countryside to walking on the roads. As you can see how steep it is up here. I can actually get up here on a mountain bike when I come out on my mountain bike, so it's not that bad, but so I can get up here on my mountain bike, so it isn't that bad. I don't stop anywhere, but it only gets your heart working, and you probably hear me as I'm pounding up here. As you can see, I've come from down there, and beyond there is Slade Hooton. I've got a little bit further to go. Like I said, you have to be a bit careful. They come flying down here. One of the things is people getting a bit paranoid when you're filming at the moment. And I was actually coming out of Sheffield, and I thought I'd do a clip of Sheffield, and a taxi driver stopped his car because he thought I was filming him. I said, no, I'm not filming you. I'm filming the state of Sheffield at the moment. And he just smiled then and drove off. But you have to be very careful with some people at the moment. So I'm back in Laughton on the Morthern. You can see where the Hatfield Arms was. It's supposed to be turned into shops and flat, or they were planning permission for that. They're trying to get it through, and nothing's happened on that. See the signpost there. So I'm back in Laughton on the Morthern. I have got a longer video going around Laughton on the Morthern, showing you where the castle is. There you can see that's Manor Farmhouse, I think, which is now somebody's house. And then what I want to just show you is the old St Ledger pub, because I don't think I'd even got that on my old video, because it doesn't look like a pub anymore. And this is a problem. That white building was the old St Ledger, and there was a large car park on it and everything, and they've now built houses on the car park and turned the original pub into a house. Such a shame. So you don't tend to get things back like that. Once you lose them, that's it for good. So that's the end of my journey today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it encourages you to get out and find local places in your own area where you can walk, because I used to go across to Derbyshire. I found that many walks around here now that I don't even need to go across to Derbyshire, but I'm going across on my birthday this year. I'm not letting police stop me going out for my exercise on my birthday, because they spoilt my birthday last year. So that's it anyway. I'll do another video next week, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Any comments for any future videos around my area, just give a shout and I'll do that. Bye for now.